you does marketing and advertising.
How y'all doing today? Put these on?
Yep, you can if you want. You don't have to.
Right. Cue the question. That's what they call me.
Oh, cue the question.
Yeah.
Okay. So give everybody your social media pages. Instagram.
Well, everybody can follow me. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. It's all unified. Cue the question.
So that's your Instagram. Just cue the question.
Yep. Try to keep it the same. Make it simple for y'all.
Okay. So how did you come up with the name Cue the Question?
Well, when
Interesting.
I used to do college radio, so my real name is Quentin.
Okay.
So everybody used to call me Q. So when I was doing college radio at North Carolina A&T, the best HBCU, by the way, I didn't have a name. You know, I used to interview rappers and athletes and stuff like that when I was writing for like hip hop magazines, and I just didn't have a name. So when I was doing a radio show with my man Aunt Butter, he was like, "Yo, call yourself Q the Question." And at first I was like, Then after a while, it was one of those days you looking in the mirror like, you know what? I like the sound of that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's interesting. Cue the question. I like that.
Thank you.
Like that. So what type of marketing do you do?
Well, basically, you know, I do like advertising campaigns. You know, my background is being a publicist and a journalist. So by building a lot of those relationships, record labels and different businesses will hire me to like come up with marketing campaigns, you know, from advertising, you know, coming up with ideas to get you promoted. You know, whether we do the big street campaigns, you know, the advertising campaigns through the internet. And those are just things that I just built outside of me running my own company and managing my artist, SKE Records.
Oh, okay. So you manage an artist also?
Yup. Up and coming. Two up and coming artists as well.
Okay, that's dope. That's dope. So you do it all basically.
I get around, you know. I talk real fast. I get around, but I got a lot of energy.
Okay, that's what's up. So so you have two artists. They rap artists. What they?
Yeah. So I have two rap artists right now. One is out of Philly named Sean Archer. Y'all never heard of him, but now you did.
Sean Archer.
You know?
Okay.
And I got another one named Jada Ali out of Flint, Michigan. So, you know, I've been managing Jada for like about a year now, you know, so I've been working with Sean Archer for a few years now. Things starting to pick up, and him and Jada Ali just released a new record called All I Do. So I'll make sure I get that to y'all. So make sure y'all check that out.
Yeah,
Jada Ali and Sean Archer, All I Do.
Oh, okay. And they both rappers.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Okay, so hey, my question for you. Going into any business out here, a lot of people want to do business. A lot of people want to own their own companies.
Yes.
To really start off, can you actually tell them what they need to do to start off?
Well, for one, definitely get your LLC. You know, not to sound like the typical Facebook LLC and all them, but you know, once you realize you got a name that you want to establish, you definitely want to get it because it comes with a lot of tax benefits and things like that. And make sure, you know, once you stick with that name, get a trademark as well. You know, because once your name starts getting popular, you want to trademark your name, especially if you decide to do music. I'm very big on artists trademarking their name because even with my company, obviously I don't do music, but I promote music. But me being a brand that's Cue the Question, I trademark that name, you know. So I tell every rapper, trademark your name ASAP, you know. If you own a big time company, when you look at the big companies, Adidas, Nike, Burger King, McDonald's, they all trademark your name. So they trademark their name. So that's something you want to do ASAP.
Okay.
Yep.
So how much money do you have to put out in marketing?
It just depends. Every business is different because, you know, it's people that got budgets of $50,000 and up, and it doesn't go nowhere because it still comes down to the product. Then you got dudes out here, they upload a song to the internet, you know, they spend a few $100s to maybe a couple thousand within a course of 8 to 10 months, maybe 4 to 5 months, and kaboom. So, you know, with social media, it makes everything easier, but you have to spend some money, you know, when you know that already. You drive around through Philadelphia, you know, you see ads, you see the buses, you know, you see like the stop signs and the promo posters on the poles and stuff like that. So you got to get your stuff out there. So I wouldn't really put a price on what it takes to be successful, but you have to spend money, period.
Right.
That's
spend money to get money.
Right. That's what I was about to ask you. For somebody who's starting, I'll say, a new restaurant or a mom and pop shop or something like that, and they know nothing about the internet. They know nothing, but they just want to do it. My thing is, what would you actually tell them? I know about the LLC. We know about the DIN number and stuff like that.
Yes.
But what else can you actually tell these people out here to move forward?
Yeah, well, you got to start from the ground up. The biggest problem with a lot of people that want to start their own business, they want a big kaboom. Okay. And sometimes people have a hard time accepting that. I know we live in the era of social media where they make it seem like you do 6 months of work and you rich. Yeah. It doesn't work like that. Now, social media does make things a lot easier now, but you still got to put in that work. I remember I was talking to a guy, he owned a Chinese store, and he was telling me how they would print up 50,000 flyers, like the brochures and the menus, and they would just hit as many houses as they can, all within that area. And you see the same thing with like a new pizza shop might open. You checking your mailbox, you see the menus, and that's just like the basic marketing. Because I tell people all the time that people got to see it. It's no different than you on YouTube. You see the ads pop up. You go outside, you driving on the highway, you see a McDonald's billboard, a Burger King billboard, and people got to understand that when it comes to advertising, we come up with ways to like wire your brain to remember something. Right. How many times you might been at the gas station putting gas in your tank and you see something on TV or you see a billboard and you be like, where did I see that at?
Right, yeah.
And it's probably something you saw 6 months ago, but your mind was already wired to see it. You just had to like, refresh and where did you see it at? Because they got to like drive that ad in your head, you know?
So promote any and everywhere.
Exactly. It's funny because we do a lot of street campaigns, and I remember I used to get into debates with a lot of up and coming artists when they sell no damn records, but they trying to tell me how to make money off of music. Meanwhile, I make money off of music, and I'm like, you got to promote. Now, billboards could be expensive. They could run $4,000 or $5,000 a month. Everybody doesn't have that money, that type of money. But it don't hurt to say, okay, you do music, right? What do you go by, Zamula. Let's just say you get a big giant promo poster, and me and my crew, we put them all over the city of Philadelphia. Right. You get 500 posters for like, depending on where you get them from, for $250, $300. Next thing you know, from Broad and Alney all the way down to Broad and Tasker, Zamula posters is on every spot on Broad Street. So they constantly widen in their brain. They're like, oh, y'all went to school with her. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it just you got to get that notoriety out there, because if you look at every successful business, the one thing that they all do, they all promote.
No, that's facts.
So, is it good to use influencers too?
I personally recommend it, only because they still have a certain reach of people that could just see your product just like that. I remember I was reading something on Instagram like a while back, and it was like how much certain celebrities charge for a post, and it was like, I don't remember the exact numbers. I'm just gonna throw out some estimates like what I think I remember. It was like Kim Kardashian 100,000, LeBron James 85,000, Kobe Bryant 75,000, just to post your stuff on Instagram. Wow. Because you gotta think, if they got millions of followers, everybody gonna see it.
Right.
So it's like, there you go right there. So now, don't get me wrong, if you don't got no 50, 60,000 to pay LeBron James, well, rest in peace to Kobe, obviously, but let's just say you don't got 100,000 to pay Kim Kardashian. Hey man, you got smaller outlets that, hey, look, $150 to post this or run some ads, So
it's definitely a lot of them on Instagram, but you just gotta be careful because they're scammers.
Yeah,
a lot of them is buying followers just to make it look like they have followers, and I believe you can buy like likes. You can buy comments.
Stay away from that.
So it'll look like they page is popping because they got like 80,000 followers with all these likes.
So how do you really know if that's
the page is real?
Yeah,
you got to go to the people that's legit. So let's just say like, all right, you can't afford Kim Kardashian, but Kim Kardashian is a famous person. Even if she quote unquote has some fake followers, like she who she is. So you just know about the validity of the person. Like, you got Joe Schmo in your DMs talking about give him $75 for a post. It's like, nigga, what? Like, nobody don't really know you like that. But then you might have a reputable page that covers hip hop. You look at their followers and you actually look at the engagements. Like, yo, people actually follow this dude.
Right.
I always judge it by the engagements. Like, all right, they post something, they get, they don't get 2 comments. It's like, yo, they ain't really worth my money.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So but even with that, you gotta be careful. I swear, I get so many pages like, oh, let me promote, and they be having like a lot of followers, a lot of views. I mean, like 52,000 views, but I think the pages.
Yeah, exactly. Because like when we promote, we just go hard. We come up with a plan. Because a lot of, even just me doing music, like a lot of artists be fire, but they don't know the business. So a lot of artists, I get calls from record labels that's trying to like do the music thing. They just don't know. I don't knock them. They don't know. And the main thing I explain is, all right, if something is wrong with your teeth, where do you go? A dentist. Right. You got to fight a case or something like that. You hire a lawyer.
Right.
So something wrong with your toilet.
You got to hire some people, basically.
Something wrong with your toilet, you call a plumber.
Right.
So why in music, we just try to figure it out by ourselves? You got to hire the people that do it for a living. People.
Right.
No,
that's fake, so. I definitely don't know the music.
Well, that's why we're here. He told me about you, so that's why we're here.
So I'm definitely learning.
I'm
learning every day.
Yep.
So Q, Q is definitely, I call him Q.
Q the question. Yeah. The other Q. Right.
Yeah.
That's my man.
Yeah, I call him Q, but he definitely be teaching me a lot though.
Yeah. He's a smart guy.
Whatever he know, he just let me know. Yep. So that's decent. But what else you got?
Well, my thing is,
Oh, but let me just tell you about her. She just opened up a business.
Okay.
And that's what she's in the process of marketing. So I'm glad you came because she probably needed to talk to you afterwards because she's trying to market.
Yeah, I'll show y'all some stuff, man. I'll show y'all some stuff and how it needs to look because you just gotta drop. Matter of fact, here's an example right here. Perfect example.
Oh, they're yours. I'm sorry.
No, they go. It's all good. It's all good.
I thought they was.
You know, no, it's all good.
Oh, that's not yours.
So, but no, they are.
Oh, they are.
Well,
okay.
well, this is not my client. But this is a client that I represent.
Oh, okay. Right.
So this is Big Fats out of Houston, Texas.
Okay.
I was in Houston about a month ago. So he signed to a label called Pud Empire out of Houston. You know, this is new project, The Meal Prep. So we got his posters all over Philly right now. You know, I'll show y'all the pictures when it's all said and done. But we put these in every barbershop, poppy store, gas station. You know, we run the ads on social media because people's biggest things when it comes to these is, man, what if somebody taking it, throw it on the ground?
Right.
It doesn't matter. They still looked at it.
Right.
So let's just say we got something for you. Yeah. I mean, even if they throw it on the ground, the name is still wired in their brain. So let's just say you drop a hit record 6 months from now, they could be like, damn, one of her promoters gave me, what is it, Zamola? They gave me a Zamola. Yo, the boy gave me a Zamola flyer at the gas station 6 months ago. This is her video on YouTube now. I remember her. So you got to keep doing it. So, you know, we'll get like 3,000 of these, 5,000, depending on the market. But we got these in like, I don't know if y'all seen them in Philly, but we got these posters all over the poles. Oh, sorry. We got the posters like all over the poles, and we get the staple gun and tape. Okay. I got a crew of 3 or 4.
No, that's smart though. So with this, you can scan it and his music will play.
Yep. It just pops right up so you can follow him. You know.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, he's out of Houston.
You just take a picture.
Yep. He's out of Houston, Texas, but it's like.
Oh, and it
the goal, which I explained to his manager, which he already knew, which was the reason I went to Houston in the first place. He's from Houston, but his goal is not to just be a Houston artist.
Okay.
He wants to be known across the country, across the world.
Right.
So I was telling him, like, all right, well, since I'm in Philly, you in Houston, start promoting yourself up here to get known outside of Houston.
Yep.
You know, Cardi B just wasn't known in New York. She's known across the world now.
Right.
You know?
Oh, no, I like that. That's
so it's like...
Then you can scan it.
Like, we got the promo posters all over the city. I'm gonna brighten that up. But we flood them, you know? So, like, from Broughton County all the way down to West Philly, 52nd and Market, the Philadelphia Zoo.
Okay.
And, you know, you drive through the city, we bomb the hood, you know?
Okay.
And we'll do the same thing with y'all, whatever y'all got going on. And we really get them up.
That's dope.
Yep.
That's dope, though. I like that.
Yep. So it's just a combination of everything.
Take you to your website. You could do these to, like, it'll take you to your website, right?
Yep. Just holler at a graphic designer. You know, tell them what you want done. We get them printed up, and we get to work.
Okay, that's dope. Great.
So, now, because of that, normally, like, if you actually want somebody to promote you, period. If you want a manager or whatever the case is, normally, what do you look for? What do you try to aim for? I know you want them to be trustworthy, stuff like that, but what exactly do you look for?
When it comes to managing artists, publicity, or like even if I do publicity for them, your work ethic. I'm no longer working with an artist that don't got a crazy work ethic because I had artists in the past that was fire, but the work wasn't there. So then they get mad at me like, well, why you ain't making? I'm like, dude, you dropping one video every 8 months. Like, we can't. You got to understand in this climate of music now, let's be honest, everybody's effing rapping now. You know what I'm saying? So it's so oversaturated, so you really got to get out here and grind. Now, I will say, these days, anybody could do it now. Anybody, because before you signed to a record company, because they had the machine to get you in front of an audience. Now, Zamola can say, all right, we're going to target Houston, New Orleans, Atlanta, Miami, Dallas, San Francisco, Oakland, Seattle, Portland. You know, we could do some ads, start off at like $20 a day for 3 weeks. She drop a new video. We getting known to fans across different cities that she probably never even been to. So I'm just saying, like, that would be a sample hypothetically. I'll call my man, yo Beto, I'm working with this girl named Zamola out of Philly. Let's print up some flyers and flood Atlanta. I'm gonna hold it down for Philly, but I'm gonna send you 5,000 flyers. I want you to tear Atlanta up. You know what I mean? So it's like the main thing that I try to say, and y'all probably laugh when I say this, trying to make it as a rapper or any business, it's like you gotta run. It's like running for president.
No, you're right.
You gotta get out here and campaign. When Trump and Biden or Obama was running for president, what's the one thing every political season? They out here
grinding.
They got the brochures, they got the ads, they got the posters on the pole. You know what I'm saying? So you really got to get out here and campaign. So That's the best analogy that I like to say. Yo, treat this shit like you're running for president.
No, real right.
You know?
And you definitely gotta want it and be into it. I say work every day.
You gotta want it, man. And it's easy now. Like me and Q talk all the time. Like, he see my post on Facebook, I'll be like, look, man, like, even if you don't become the biggest rapper, you know, of course the universe depends on how big you get. You know what I mean? You know, you got dudes like Jay-Z and Drake. You know, that's the mega millions. But I know dudes out here making $400,000 a year. You know, economically, you're still in the top 10% of American income. Right. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, that is.
You know, so Jay-Z and Drake and Nicki Minaj, go get it. Always say, get as big as you want to get.
Right. But
I know people out here, man, seeing $500,000 to $700,000 a year. You know what I mean? Based on American. Now, compared to Jay-Z and the big dogs, that's not money compared to them. That ain't nothing.
Right.
But to the average American, that's
cool.
Still $700,000 a year is still a lot of money.
Right. It is.
You know?
Yeah. Q, you want to bring that stool over? Oh, right. It's in here.
Yep.
So that's why I wanted to know. Like, normally when you promote something, like, I do body sculpting.
Okay.
So for me, my thing is, I would like to know how long would I have to run an ad before I have to switch it up, or do I constantly run that ad plus more just to keep on?
You base it off engagement. So a lot of times, like when I work with clients, I say, look at your ads, right? See who's actually responding to your ad, because let's just say your demographic is females from the age of 25 to 35.
Right.
You know what I mean? When you first do an ad, a lot of times you just do a generic one to see who's responding to the ad. You say, well, damn, men between the ages of 25 and 30 ain't really clicking on this shit.
Okay.
But females 25 and 30, 25 and 40 clicking on it. So you run another ad just focusing just on those people. Okay. You know what I mean? And that's what you basically do. So even when it comes to the body sculpting, you still get some promo posters, because even though you can't see engagement from that, that's more so for name recognition, you know? So you want somebody to pick up the phone and say, yo, I heard of you before. Or somebody calling you saying, yo, I seen your poster on Broad and Allegheny. You know? Okay. Everybody's at Broad and Allegheny, like the major 52nd Street.
Broad and Erie. Yeah,
we flood that. We tear up all that.
You did.
We do all that.
Right near, what's that? At Broad and Erie. Because everybody be right there.
Exactly.
You talk about
Maxis,
We do Broad all the way down, just on the street marketing side. But the online marketing, we target the cities. You know, you gotta have big bold letters. You know, it's all about a nice color scheme. You know, certain colors make you like look at certain stuff.
All right. So y'all do Instagram and y'all do all social media.
Yep. We'll walk you through that. The real stuff too, not the fake.
Okay.
So I know a lot of people are talking about colors. Like, you have to make it stand out.
Right.
You can't just find a color and just make it more, but it's like, okay, what I'm saying is, some people say, okay, a lot of people engage in the color orange because they see that color, or not because they see the fancy pictures and stuff like that.
Right.
So is it a color scheme that makes these people really want to look at it, or the glitter and diamonds and
it depends on what you're promoting, you know, because sometimes, like, it might be certain colors for food, it might be certain colors. It's like, you ever notice anything health related is always green, or money related is always green, because certain colors excite you, you know. You know, that's another conversation in itself. But it comes down to what the artists want, and we try to help them come up with an idea. What is your slogan? What is your vision? You know. Okay. It's funny because I was on Broad and Gerard like not too long ago. And I can't remember the name of the place, but they opened like a new cheesesteak spot or something like that. You know, one of those fries, chicken.
Oh, yeah, the one on the corner. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but they had like flyers all over the hood because they get out there and promote. Right. And people always ask themselves, like, why my business not where is that? And I ask them all the time. I lie to you not. When I sit down with rappers, the ones that want to make it and they wonder why they not blowing up, and I always ask them, I lie to you not, Zah. I lie to you not. 95% of the time when I'm sitting down with aspiring artists, I always ask them one question. How much money you spent on marketing in the last 6 months? And you'd be surprised how many say zero.
Yeah, literally. I believe it. I was about to say zero.
You know? And a lot of times it's not the fact they don't want to spend the money. They don't know.
Right.
They don't know how to spend the money. You know what I mean? They don't understand advertising, marketing, doing certain things to make people that's going to look. You know? It's a whole, you know?
I know what you're saying, because people will feel like, no, I don't want to put these out there. It ain't going to work. Like you said, they'll just say they're going to throw them out and... So,
and it's like, okay, you know, you had those debates, and it's like, well, why you sent me in the first place? You're not selling one record,
right?
You know,
so it's best. I'll say like this: do you think it's best to have a promoter, or try to have somebody do your advertisement for you, or you do it yourself, or learn both?
I would say if you can learn a little bit yourself, because you still want to learn the basics just for your own intelligence. You know what I mean? You don't want people taking advantage of you where. Because a lot of times people, like, you might know how to do certain things yourself, like the basics, but you want to make sure somebody's actually doing what you paid them for so they can't play you, you know what I mean? People will take advantage of your ignorance. That's common in this business, Yeah. So try to learn as much as you can. With the internet, it's just a simple Google. So, because a lot of times, even in my case, it's people that know how to do certain things, but they pay me for the convenience because they just so busy all the time. Yo, Q, I got kids, I got this, I got this. Look, I'm going to just give you this money, just do all that for me, It's just a convenience thing as well,
So do you have like an office set up somewhere, or you just online? How do people get in contact with you?
Well, they can follow me on social media. We're going to open a studio soon. Me and my crew, SK Record Studios, we building on that.
Okay, that's cool.
And, we just grinding, So when it comes to the street campaigns, that's me and my guy, Big Phil. As far as my record label with my artists, SKE Records, I got Sean Archer. I manage Jada Ali, which she has her own label as well, Roundtable Association. And we just looking to have a strong 2020. We killed it in 2021 as far as doing marketing for all the major labels. And I just been using a lot of my relationships to help these artists pick up a name and been doing a phenomenal job with that. And we're not going to stop, The billboard advertising, the marketing, the streets, the radio campaigns, the DJ pools, and we do the best we can,
So I see a lot of people doing the billboards in New York in Times Square. So do you know the prices on that?
It depends. There's billboards in Times Square that could cost $30,000-$40,000 a month. You got billboards that could cost $12,000 a month. So it just depends which billboard. Every billboard is different. It depends on the advertising agency, but it's good for branding. They can be expensive though. So a lot of times, if that's not in the budget, start small and work your way up.
Yeah, I think a lot of people doing like the one day. It's like a couple of hours. I think it's just 24 hours.
Yeah, I mean, if it's a good look for you, you feel that's what you want to do to get your brand out there, go for it.
Yeah.
How hard is it to actually start branding your own stuff?
I wouldn't say it's hard, but I would say you have to put a lot of work into it. I don't think anything is necessarily hard, but you got to put the time into it. Because there are a lot of times where, even with my company, you go through a lot of changes. Logo change, color scheme, you might, put something out there one way, then like 8 months down the line, a year from the line, you might be like, you know what, I don't want to use that name no more, or I don't want to use this color scheme. And it's a process, how many times have you seen like certain companies, you look at their logo from 1960, and then you will see like how a logo looks for their company now, and it's look way different, Right. So that's just a process in itself. So I wouldn't say it's hard, but it's something that has a lot of time that goes into branding,
So for a lot of people, So for a lot of people who are coming up with their own things that they're making, before they actually put it out there, should they brand their stuff? Like if somebody made, I'll say a little hand knife. Before they put it out there, should they actually
like promote it first?
Promote it. But if somebody see it, they could come up and take it from them because they didn't sit there and put the stamp on it. So before they put it out there to show other people, should they actually
solidify your paperwork? Well, that's why I always say, if you're confident that once you get the product, even with the name of the company, once you're 100% confident that's the way you're going to go, I say trademark your name ASAP. Because you got to put that stamp on it, like, yo, this is mine. You know what I mean? Even if you end up changing the company, the name of the company 6 months down the line, 5 years down the line, trademark it, because once it's yours,
So how much does it cost to trademark your name?
Depends. I can help you. I will give you some information on that once it's done. But it depends. You could go through a lawyer. Sometimes they can overcharge. Sometimes they might give you a good deal. Sometimes you got a lot of online companies that can help you do it through the process. So it depends. Trademarking your name can range from as $500 to $1,500. It just depends on who you go to. I did both of mine for $1,000.
Okay. But the trademark and the LLC.
Yep.
So I know the LLC be like $372.
Yeah, depending on where you go, somewhere around there. I'm not going to front. I went to Legal Zone to do mine. I went to Legal Zone. I did both of mine.
Legal Zone.
And they take about 8 months.
I think they was 8. Oh wow.
Yeah, the trademark your name takes.
Trademark takes so long.
Trademark takes about 8 months. That takes 8 months.
Okay, why does it take so long?
Oh, go.
It's a process. It's a process. I mean, even before they review the application, that's a 3-month wait.
Oh wow.
Then it's a 3-month wait just for them to even review the application. Once they review it, it's something called like it got to get posted in the Gazette. Then it takes another 30 days after that. Then once that get approved, you got to wait another 8 to 11 weeks. But when you finally get your gold stamp in the mail that you trademark, it's the best feeling ever. It's worth the 8-month wait.
For those that don't know, like, what's the difference between copyright and a trademark?
Yes. All right, so here's the thing. Trademark is the ownership of the name. So let's just say she goes by Zamula or Glockaware Radio. Nobody can use that name. Copyright is for an actual work. Like, okay, you wrote a song or you published a book. Nobody could actually copy the lyrics or plagiarize what you wrote in that book as far as the actual work. Trademark is just the rights to the actual name. So if I go by Q the Question, somebody else going by Q the Question, I can sue him, or he got to take all his shit down because I own the rights to the name. That's what the trademark means. It's trademark. Nobody can use it as far as the name.
Okay.
Yep.
So I think I need to change mine because when you type up that joint, all these people come.
Yep.
So, all right, I got a question too.
No doubt.
All right, I had a friend, right? They made a song, and they want to sue somebody for it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they had proof that it existed way before it came out.
Yep.
Now, does the lawsuit start from the day that they filed a copyright, or does it start from way back when they created the intellectual property?
It usually starts when they created the intellectual property, because a lot of times there's been many cases. I'm not going to say no names, but I remember it was a situation with a big time rapper in which he stole somebody's song. You know what I mean? Like really, like the agreement was he did the song with the Bull. You know what I'm saying? They never put the song out. Then Bull tried to pull off a slick move and like basically like steal the song or something I was reading on the internet. You know what I mean? And they said the dude ended up suing the dude for like $5 or $6 million, like because he proved like, all right, I recorded it in the studio this day. Like here's the actual files. Oh, wow. So it's a case by case basis. And when it comes to stuff like that, that's why you got to get an entertainment lawyer that deals with all that. You know, because you know I post this stuff on Facebook all the time and you see it all the time. You be like, man, you know what I mean? Because, you know, people will steal your stuff if they can. It's the record business.
And I just said that, I'm like, that, look, we got to...
You know, if they could take your song and turn it into a $5 million hit.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean?
They'll take some words there. So
you know what I mean? And let's just say, hypothetically, they felt like they could make the song better. They still got to pay you for your intellectual property. Like, come on, dude. Like, you still took my idea. So let's just say it was a situation where, you know, they could make the song better than what you made it as. You know, you have cases of that. You know, that's why ghostwriters exist. But it's like, all right, you got to at least pay me for, like, using my idea, you know?
Right.
Yep.
That's why you got to copyright everything.
Yep. Everything. ASAP.
They really do.
ASAP.
They'll take it. There's nothing you can do about it.
Yep.
Do you think it's a good idea for artists to continue to do radio promotion? Just like mainstream radio, or no?
Absolutely. I mean, you know, you look at somebody like Alicia Keys, even though she's on another stratosphere, she got a new album out right now. She's still doing radio promo. So I believe in promoting all across the board. Whether you see something on TV, whether you hear something on the radio, whether you see a post on a pole, a flyer on the table at the barbershop, a billboard on the highway, doing a radio interview, you got to promote. It's not a coincidence that every time an artist releases something new, they doing radio interviews, they on their little promo run. That's never going to go away, you know? Yeah. The aspect of different aspects of how to promote and different. The only thing that changes is like the name of shows. Like at one point in hip hop, everybody would go by Rap City. That doesn't exist no more. But they got the Breakfast Club and Hot 97 and stuff like that, you know? So the only thing that changes is the platforms. But it's the actual outlets that do interviews with, that's always going to be around. Okay. In my opinion.
Now, how much do you think artists would need to break a record? From your expertise, I heard 40,000 on radio. I'm saying on radio, on mainstream, like.
It's funny because I was just talking to them about that. I was like, man, it depends, man, because I know dudes that spent 50, 60,000 and they ain't go nowhere. And this dude's out here, I'm talking about, man, they got their PUA money. You know, they making a couple moves right now just off a few grand. So, you know, people gotta understand, man, money does not guarantee success in this business. You know, because the people still determine if they fucking with your shit or not. And, you know, sometimes it's a hard time to realize that. But I will say this as far as, like, radio marketing. Like, I know dudes, radio promoters, they'll be like, look, Q, to get this record hot throughout the tri-state, we need about 25,000. I'm not going to say no names, but some of the biggest records in the country, record labels probably spent like $100,000, you know? You know? And that's usually when you sign to, like, a major label because they still got a chokehold on the radio game. Right. But a lot of times, you know, you don't really get heavy radio play unless you do a deal with a major, because they always got like that tag of, we're gonna work your record to radio. You know, things are starting to change as time goes on, but that radio power still plays a factor as to why people do deals or not. You know, you know, I don't listen to the radio, but a good handful of people still do. You know, so I know dudes that work records to radio for 25,000, 50,000, 100,000, and it just goes up and down depending on what's your goal. You know.
So if an artist came to you right now, just now starting off with like a budget of like, I don't know, let's say 5,000 or 10,000, what would you recommend? If they was
bomb social media, you know, because one of the things that a lot of artists understand is this, and I get it from the outside looking in, because like I was telling them, they don't know. So I have artists hit me up, yo man, we want to get on the radio and flood them, and I call some of my guys that work at labels that do the radio marketing, that work in the radio departments, and I be like, dude, like you got to understand, like if you work this record to radio right now, you only going to get mix show spins. That's not going to do nothing for you. So you're going to spend $5,000 or $10,000 on radio. Mind you, you competing with major label artists, 2 Chainz, Cardi B, Wiz Khalifa, Jay-Z, Nas, you know, some of the artists that got like big records on Summer Walker, Jhené Aiko, so on. So $10,000 ain't shit for a radio marketing campaign, because you only gonna get what, a couple spins a week, mix show spins for 4 weeks. But then you got a record that's on Def Jam, they might spend $80,000 on that record and they getting played from sun up to sundown. So I always say, like, in my opinion, and I tell artists this all the time, stay the fuck away from radio until you get to, until at least generating money. Because you 10,000, you gotta understand, if you got 9 to 5 money, 10,000 is a lot to you. If you got 9 to 5 money, that's pennies when you going against somebody that's signed to label when they spending 100,000. Your 10,000 versus they 100,000. Dang, you little. So I would say one of my favorite radio promoters is a guy named Lester Pace, and he was talking about this, like, why spend 15,000 on radio when you could spend 15,000 on social media and be having thousands of views and Google ads and flooding the streets.
Yeah, that's true.
And you know, you become like popping off that 15,000 within your region. Now she could go to Camden and get a bag. She could go to Delaware and get a bag. She could go to New York. So she take that I'm just saying, you hypothetically, like, you build a buzz off that budget within that region. All right, yo, we're going to book her in Boston, 1,500. We're going to book her in Delaware. We're going to book her in New York. We're going to book her in Connecticut. We're going to book her in Philly. We're going to book her in Baltimore. Now she hot all within that 6-hour radius, where I tell artists that you build a buzz, even though you have the internet, try to build a buzz all of the cities that's close driving distance at the max 6 hours away. All right, now she's going to go to Pittsburgh and get a check. Now she could go to Connecticut, pick up 200 real quick, you know, well, 2,500 real quick. And you build a buzz throughout that region, you know. You spend 10,000 on radio, that shit going to come and go.
Right.
All you got is a brag. Yo, I was on the radio on so-and-so for a couple weeks.
Right.
You drop a new video, you put 10,000, pay to get on Say Cheese with Sean Cotton and them. You know, they got over 1 million followers, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, speaking of paying for stuff like that, like, how can artists cover their ass getting features? Or do you recommend an artist even getting a feature, a new artist?
I don't mind getting features, but I always felt like features should be organic, because, man, you be having dudes, man. Like, I remember I was working with this one dude, and he wanted to spend all this money on a feature with a popular rapper. The rapper, you know, he was buzzing at the time. He was charging like $5,500, $6,000 for a feature. That's still a nice piece of change independently to spend. And I'm like, dude, like, you don't want to spend all this money on a fucking feature. Now we don't got no money. Now we don't have no money to promote the record, because it's not like you got a big budget. You know what I'm saying? So, and then the crazy thing about these features, you know, a lot of times you pay all this money to get on a feature. The person you did the feature with, it's just an easy bag for him, but they not even promoting the record. Nope. And I'll be like, yo, make sure you sign a contract to make them like, yo, my nigga, like, when this record drop, like, can you promote the record? Like, can you put it on your page? And I don't really recommend features. Now, if you got, because a lot of times when they do that, they just want a quick success. And I'm like, yo, let it build up organically, where he might be charging $5,500 for a feature now, but if you an artist that's actually buzzing, he might say, man, I want to get on a song with you because you the next big thing. I'm gonna knock my price down to $3,000. You know what I mean? So I don't believe in like chasing a feature. You know what I mean? Because one, again, if you don't got the big money like that, even if you do got a crazy budget, you know what I'm saying? Like, it could come and go. I just feel like you got to do those at the right time. Like, try to build your own name at the end of the day. You know, build your name up first before you start doing all these features.
So, the major platforms on the internet: YouTube, Facebook,
Instagram, TikTok.
Now, that's where the question coming in. A lot of people sit there and who want to promote, they said they can promote on TikTok, but you look at it, how do you promote on TikTok? We know about
it seem hard. It seems hard to promote.
Right.
Man,
TikTok.
record labels got people that sit in the office all day and they come. I don't do the TikTok stuff myself personally, but record labels got like departments that focus just on like social media.
Right.
Like, all right. Like, because a lot of people, man, when they see these records blow up, they just think, like, somebody just literally uploaded it and just kaboom. Yeah, they got people, like, in a lab, like, in a room, like, all right, we're going to have this little kid who reviews toys. We're going to have her post a song. We're going to pay this choreographer to have all these little kids come up with a dance. So, in your mind, you thinking that the record just blew up and all the kids love it. Like, it's design. It's by design. Like, these records just don't be taking off like you think. Like, all of this stuff is strategically planned. You know what I mean? But a lot of artists be thinking, like, so-and-so just uploaded it and kaboom. Like, no, like, this stuff is, like, by design, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's hard to get a follower on TikTok.
Yeah, that's what it's like.
So it's like, how do
you see them dancing, you see them doing all of this, but I see on there that you have TikTok made me do it, TikTok made me buy it, TikTok made me sell it. My thing is, how do you actually promote when it comes down to these little quirks on TikTok?
Right.
You're like, huh?
I remember I was talking to somebody at a record label, and he was telling me how, like, a lot of times, like, how they strategically plan stuff. And he said it always comes down to, like, the impact on the record, because he was basically telling me that every artist's image is different. Mm-hmm. So what might work for this person might not work for that person, you know? And he was just basically saying, like, all right, we might not do this for TikTok because that might only be for the demographic of 8 to 20-year-olds, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Or even younger than that, like 8 to 13-year-olds with that Shark, Shark, Shark baby song, and little kids love that. So he was just basically saying that it just depends. But a lot of times they do the basic on who they target, you know? It really comes down to the target market and who you want to target within that age bracket, you know?
So how do you really target people? Serious?
No, okay, so for example, on Instagram, you can select it.
Yeah, Instagram is kind of easier than TikTok. I feel like
Instagram,
TikTok
Facebook is way easier.
Yeah,
like,
way easier.
You know, if you feel like your music is in the lane of Young Jeezy and Lil Boosie and Yo Gotti, you can actually select them as target markets. Because it's not saying that you sound like them. It's basically saying, like, all right, if you listen to them, you'll listen to me.
Right.
So you could do that, you know?
So you can actually promote on Instagram. Even your business, you could promote it, and then you can select who. I guess it's like a tag when you selecting them.
Yeah, exactly. When you run the ads, you can actually like select the names. Like for example, right? I was working with this female artist, right? And I'm like, all right, well, I feel like when I listen to you, you like in the lane of like, I'm gonna target like City Girls, Sweetie,
right?
You know, Cardi B, Nicki Minaj. And it will make sure that every time somebody's watching a Cardi B or a Nicki Minaj video, that her ad will pop up. Okay. You know, because you select those names as keywords. Okay. So why do you think when you see these videos in the millions and millions and millions? It's because they're doing the Google ads.
Oh, okay.
You know, so I'm like a pro when it comes to that.
All right.
You know.
So, do you think it's good to promote on Instagram? Because you know, I
absolutely.
guess Instagram be like what, $10 for 2 days.
Absolutely. I always say if you can, you know, yeah, they got the small budgets, but a lot of times, like, I would recommend, like, you do at least 2 weeks. So let's say, like, you only have $45 to spend. Your money ain't long yet. You only got $40 to spend. Instead of doing, like, $10 a day for 4 days, do, like, 8 days at $5 a day. Okay. And that ad runs way longer and it gets way more engagement because you're stretching the money out. So I would do that.
So do you think it's good that, because, you know, when you promote on Instagram, you get to choose, like, United Kingdom. So then you start getting all these followers from just, like, all over. Yeah. And it'd be the weird stuff because they come in your DM and they start.
Right. So you want to. So basically, you want to know, is it good to promote outside
or just do
the United States?
Just do United States or do both. You can
depending
do both.
on what it is. Depending on what it is, because for example, let's just say you got a pizza shop. It don't make no damn sense to target fans in the UK because that's a localized business. You know what I mean? Where in her case, you do music. You want fans from all over the world. Okay. So for example, I'm big on like wiring your brain, right? So let's just say like, okay, let's say you got the body sculpting business. We get a nice promo poster made. I would be like, all right, we're gonna get the promo poster made. We're gonna get the promo flyers made. We're gonna put them in all the barbershops, nail salons, blah, 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 blah. We're gonna put the promo posters on every street corner, right? Now, once we put the promo posters on every street corner, we're gonna take a bunch of pictures of them and videos. I'm gonna have you post them on Instagram. Then we're gonna run an ad on Instagram targeting the city that they all over. So it's stuck in your brain. Okay. Damn. I just got off the train on Broad and Erie.
And I just seen it.
And I see these on the polls. But now it's on Instagram because we actually letting people know, like, all right, if you ain't see it in the street, we wired it in your brain. And then you're going to have somebody that's going to say, damn, I just seen this on Broad and Tasker. And now it's popping up on Instagram because now with the videos that I send you, I'm going to be like, yo, run the ad and just target Philly. Okay. So it's like beating it in your brain, you know what I mean? It makes it stuck in your head. Who the fuck is Zod Mola? You know what I mean? Okay. You got to wire people's brain.
No, it's, the promoting is decent because as I was promoting, I did the UK. So this guy, he sang and rap. So it's so funny. So he like, let's do a song. You all the way in the UK. But I was like, oh, all right.
Yeah, but think about it. Have you ever been to the UK? Mm-mm. But look how amazing that is. You never even been there, but you got the world at your fingertips. Right. So that gives you the motivation. Like, yo, if I keep going, like, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, it's crazy. You know, and that's the beauty of social media.
Okay, so another thing. We when it comes down to United States versus other countries, we know for a fact that other countries will like it first.
Yep.
Why is it so hard for the people here to actually be, I mean, just to be more engaged with it versus them over there?
It's funny.
Crazy.
I got a funny story about that. During my journalism days, right, I did an interview with DJ Who Kid. He's part of G Unit. I don't know if y'all know who that is, but he's like a big time DJ in the industry, DJ Who Kid. And it was funny, man. We was talking about that. Like, the question was asked differently, but it was like we was having a conversation like that. And he was like, "Yeah, Q, what I think it is, overseas, it's more so about the music. Mm-hmm. Here is like who's sleeping with who's doing this, who did this. Then they gonna check out your music.
Right.
Like we love gossip in American culture. Right. So you got rappers that they could be dope as hell, but the moment they in some drama, then everybody want to go listen to them. Right. Where he was like over there, who got beat up, who got in a fight, they don't even care about none of that shit. It's like, yo, what do you sound like? Music, you know what I mean? We're over there. Or here it's like, all right, oh word, he messing with so and so. Let me go look up our music. Like, and it just that's why I feel like celebrity relationship is like such a thing with kind of branding. Like, people know people are obsessed with celebrity relationships, so it's like a part of a brand nowadays. Like, like you start dating a rapper, I really feel like labels is like, you know what, like. Y'all need to go outside on a red carpet and take a picture holding hands. Because everybody, I feel like they know people are obsessed. Mostly this female demographic. They're obsessed with, like, celebrity relationships. Like, y'all want to be everybody's goals. Like, it's crazy, yo. I feel like that's, like, a thing. It's always been around, but I feel like that's a thing now. Like, yeah, start dating this rapper. Not saying they're making you date somebody, but it's like, once they realize you mess around with so-and-so, like, use your relationship to brand yourself.
Right.
Because they know, like,
from it, you become lit.
Like even with the Dirk and India thing, like everybody's posting their goals, like people become up, like, you know, and congrats to them. You know what I'm saying? When I'm just trying to make a point, like it's the fantasy of the lifestyle, like like I want to be like that, like goals. You know what I mean? Y'all want to be everybody's goals, like.
Damn, that's relationship goals. They posting them too, like
relationship
goals. Like why?
Right.
To wait for them to
I
do
didn't
something.
understand. I mean, I just heard about it. I literally just heard about it.
Because he proposed to her.
But you notice, like with these celebrity relationships, like. You dating so and so rapper. Next thing you know, y'all both on the cover of GQ. Hip hop new power couple, and it's like that's like the new brand. Like
they become a power couple.
Yeah, like you know what I mean, they arguing and fighting last night. Like,
right.
Yeah. But I feel like that's like a thing now, you know.
Yeah, because you could definitely when you promote, you can do like just do the United States and then do UK. You'll see it actually show you. You'll see the difference.
Right.
And do a mixture.
That's why I was asking.
Yeah. Do a mixture of both though.
More.
Yeah, that's what I was saying because you see more people from other countries that support more than the people here.
No, you definitely
exactly. I mean, even when you're from your city, like I tell artists all the time, like even if you got haters from your own city, because I talk to artists all the time, especially in Philly, they be like, yeah, Philly got haters. I'm like, yeah, they do. But I talk to artists from Detroit, Houston, Cincinnati, Chicago, Seattle. They say the same thing about their city too. Right. So a lot of times you just think it's your city, and everybody feel that way about your city. And you just got haters because like they where you from, so they not really supporting. So you know, even if you don't go overseas, like let's just say I was doing some stuff with her, I might be like, look, let's target Portland, Seattle, South Dakota, Minneapolis, like, you know, Cincinnati, Cleveland. Like, you never been in those places, I don't think, you know, so let's just target those to get some fans outside of it. But still do a mixture of here to get people talking about you, because it's more so at the angle too, you know.
Okay. They always do both.
Yeah.
Interesting. It really is.
Yeah, so you could definitely do that. Like, you go in there and promote your business. I forgot to tell you that. That was one thing I forgot to tell you.
Yeah.
Plus, I need to actually, I need to actually go into my accounts because, you know, prior to this, all of my accounts was just for me and my friend, my
right.
friends
So you're just
family.
switching it to
so
the
now
business
that I'm
account.
switching it, I need to actually, all these people who had sent me requests, I might as well sit there and accept them.
Because you want your page open, so once you open your page, it's going to accept them anyway.
Right. You don't know who know who, so it's like, look at some of those, you don't know who's watching, man. You know, you'd be surprised, like, with social media, you don't know who's watching who. It might be that big-time businessman in the land that I might say, yo, I want to invest in your body sculpting business. It might be that rich dude from Seattle somewhere randomly hitting you up that might see what you're doing. So I just feel like, you know, one of the things that killed me was people who claim they are artists or they got a business and their page is private. It's like, yo, like, I don't want everybody accepting. Well, it's like, dude, like, you run a business. This is not like, forget all that. Like, y'all so focused on haters. Like, focus on who actually supports your business. Like, it's like, you would talk to an artist and, like, they would drop a new song and they would have 100 comments that is fire. And then that one person, they'd be like, this shit whack. They arguing with them. Like, like, that's so crazy to me.
And
like,
never go back and forth. You never just go
off
back
that one person, but you got 100 people that's saying,
it's fire,
yo, this John, I like this John. You know what I mean? And it's like, yo, they the ones hit them up like, yo, by the way, this is my link to my website. Here goes some merch. You know what I'm saying? Like, you focus on the one dude. Like, it's so crazy to me.
And then
you
you
know?
Going back and forth with that,
one person.
And that one person is becoming known behind that argument. So.
Yeah, like, and then they screenshot it. Look, I got on this skin. Like, look, you know what I mean?
First of all, you just gotta know once you get into that world anyway, you're gonna have people saying all types of stuff.
Right.
So you just can't bear no mind.
Right. Yep.
You can't let it get to you because that shit would drive you crazy.
Yep.
That is
So,
interesting.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm
one
sorry.
more question real quick about so do you recommend like up and coming artists doing a feature with like an underground artist in their city or outside their city?
It doesn't matter because a hot record is a hot record. You know, you just never. At the end of the day, man, I'm gonna be real with you. Everybody is one hit away, and you don't know where that hit is gonna come from.
Right.
You know, a lot of times you chasing these features with these big artists. Yo, if I get so on my record, I'm gonna blow. But it might be that dude around the corner that's working at the fresh grocer. Boy might be hot. Y'all might make that banger that might go kaboom. So you just never know. So it's all about the record at the end of the day, not the person. You know, at the end of the day, every big superstar was an up and coming artist at one point.
Right.
At one point, they was doing shows with only 10 people there.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
So once people actually start realizing who you are, no matter if it's with the music, no matter if it's accountant or whatever else, you have to constantly keep promoting.
That's why they promote.
Okay.
You know, one of my favorite businessmen of all time. I don't know if y'all familiar with him, but he's one of my favorite businessmen of all time. P.T. Barnum. He was a big time circus promoter.
Okay.
And one of my favorite quotes that he says is, you know, how the quote goes, he goes, without promotion, a terrible thing happens. Nothing.
Right.
That's
Nothing.
One of my favorite quotes of all time. I repeat that like to so many people. Without promotion, a terrible thing happens. Nothing. You know, so that's pretty much it. But make sure y'all get my book, by the way, as well.
Oh, you have a book? What's the book? What's the name of the book?
Yeah, so basically the book has been out for a minute now, but it's really starting to do well finally.
Oh, that's what's
Make sure y'all grab my book on Amazon, The Secret to Speaking Spanish Fluently in Less Than a Year. So make sure y'all grab that on Amazon. I got the hard copies, you know, the digital copies on Amazon. So, you know, once you become bilingual, you got a lot of job opportunities and stuff that come with that. So make sure y'all grab my book on that as well.
That's into.
What inspired you to write that?
You know, I feel like by speaking Spanish fluently for over 11 years, I feel like, you know, once I became fluent in Spanish, once I finished school and all that, I saw the benefits that came with being bilingual, you know what I mean? So even though I'm self-employed, let's just say my business just crashed and burned, I could get a job anywhere. So it's good business-wise. I built up a lot of relationships in the Dominican Republic, Venezuela, and Spain. So I feel like, you know, by having bilingual skills, you know, it's good for anybody. So even if you don't learn Spanish, to learn a second language, period, is good, period, in the job market. So I just basically tell my story of how I learned Spanish fluently hanging with the Poppies and the Dominicans in North Philly on 21st and Bellevue, 20th and Westmoreland, and you know how I just became fluent, and it's one of the best investments I ever made 11 years ago. And I just figured I'd write a book that tells my story, and I feel like if you do exactly what I did, you'll be speaking Spanish within a year fluently. You know.
I always wanted to learn how to speak Spanish.
All right, hey, get the book. There you go.
I only know 1 through 10.
Yep.
So, if it's something you could tell any and everybody out here about getting their business, how to keep their business, or even try to help promote somebody else, what would it be to keep them happy, updated, and keep moving forward?
Gotta stay focused, man. You know, I feel like this, and I know it sounds cliche, but I don't really know what else to say. If you got something that you believe in, you just can't listen to nobody. Like, you really gotta have tunnel vision, because there's a lot of ideas that I had. And of course you got a team that's going to want the best for you, but a lot of times if you got that gut instinct that's telling you do it, just go for it. Because you listen to so many people, they ain't doing a damn thing, you know what I mean? So I just feel like you got to stay focused, you know? So even though that's a cliche thing to say, I mean, it's so true. Like, you got to focus on what you believe in, and you got to be a risk taker as well. You know, people be saying they scared to gamble, and you know, it's like I remember I was talking to an artist. I'm not going to say no names, but he be, yeah, Q, man, but this rap shit take a lot of money. I'm like, my nigga, but you walking around with Balenciagas that cost $600. Right. You don't want it bad enough. Like, you know what I'm saying?
You can pay for that. You can pay for it.
It's like, yo, Q, man, you should manage. But I'm like, my nigga, you're not even willing to spend your own money. Like, I'm not doing that. Like, but you got on a pair of $600 at the cheapest Balenciagas are like $600. Right?
Yeah.
It's some that at the cheapest.
900. Yeah, the cheapest is
like. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I know dudes that drop like 8, 9, 1,000 on them. Yeah. So you got on Balenciagas. My nigga, but you ain't got $250 to order your promo posters?
Right.
You don't want it bad enough. It's a hobby. And you know, he know I talk that talk on Facebook, like, yo, my nigga, like, it's just a hobby to you. You don't want it bad enough, because in the beginning it's gonna be a slow grind, but you gotta want it bad. Like, you ain't got $250 to order some posters. It's not a priority to you. You don't want to put your own money up.
What if you actually have people around you in your little group that don't support you, that always talk down? I know you need to get away from them. But how do you actually just move away from them without getting messy. I'll say it that way.
No, you just keep it on a
Just
nice
finish
split.
yourself.
You know, you talk, you just slowly walk away. Like whenever they talk to you and they want to talk now, just like, yo, I'm gonna holler at you a little later. You just start. You got to start changing the crowd of people you hang at. You know what I mean? Like, I tell people this all the time. Being a Philly native, right? I'm from Germantown. You know what I'm saying? That's why I grew up in Philly. And I used to have my homie. They just want to stand on the block all day, and I'm like, yo, my nigga, like we got to get out here and meet people. Where we gonna meet them at? I'm like, yo, like I always feel like your environment is like what are people like? All right, think about it. If you in the hood in North Philly, West Philly, it's hood people around it for the most part. Even though we all from the hood, right? But go downtown Center City in the Marriott. You might just see this random guy sitting there with a nice suit on. I'm the type of dude that'll just walk up to him, start talking to him, give him a business card. Next thing you know, this dude is a millionaire that owns like the properties or something. Because in Center City and the Marriott, it's a different crowd of people that's going to be down there. Business owners, people that got shit going on. You know what I mean? So a lot of times you gotta, like, I used to go to the Marriott Hotel and just sit in the lobby and just talk to random people. Like, start a conversation with them. Like, oh, what do you do? Like, oh yeah, I'm the owner of, like, damn, for real? Oh, all right, well, I'm doing this. So you just got to get out there and meet people. Center City, you know, because it's the environment. Like, you get my point. Like, in certain environments, it's going to be a certain crowd of people. You know what I'm saying? That's really trying to get out here and get it. You know what I mean? So you got to, like, just be, you got to be out there. Like, I got friends, like, they don't, like, I got friends to this day, they don't want to go nowhere by themselves. Me, I'm going by myself. Like, yo, you want, so-and-so, yo, Floyd Mayweather going to be at the club tonight. I'm going out there to pass on some flyers. I might meet somebody that help me get, you know what I mean? I'm going, man, I don't want to go. Got too much pride. I'm going by myself then. You know what I mean? He'll tell you, like, you know, when we were promoting, when I first started getting my name out there, I had 40,000 flyers of my record company, SKE Records. I had 40,000 flyers, and we put 40,000 flyers in the streets one summer. So whoever was coming to Philly that night, we'll pull up to the club and pass our flyers. Gucci Man on Monday. Janae Aiko gonna be here on Tuesday. Rick Ross gonna be here on Wednesday. 50 Cent hosting a party at so-and-so on Friday. We won't even go into the club. We do the let out. Pull up with like a bag of 600 flyers and just pass some Jones out. Damn, I'm tired of seeing this nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You gotta be like out there.
It's gonna get stuck in their head.
Like, yo, I see, you know, that's how I got known. Like, yo, that's when the record label started calling me. Like, yo, this nigga Cue the Question be everywhere. You know what I mean? Oh, yo, Chris Brown having a show at the Wells Fargo. We know that Jones gonna be packed. Yo, I'm pulling up with 1,000 flyers. We just passing them Jones out. Next thing you know, they all over the floor. City Works be mad as shit at us. Like, man, them SKE record niggas be everywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a simple math, you know.
Yeah.
So constantly promote to get your name out there, no matter what it is that you're doing.
Yeah, like, and don't have pride, man. You know, dudes, I had a crew, man, they be like scared to promote. Like, yo, Floyd Mayweather hosting a party tonight. You know how many people gonna be out there? Be scared to give them a flyer and shit. Like, nah, like, get on your grind. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you know, like, you never know who you're gonna meet. You know what I mean? But if you're not putting yourself in a position to win, I don't know what to tell you. Yeah.
But thanks for coming out. So
Thank
can you just give them your Instagram, your social media again?
You know, first and foremost, thank y'all for having me on the show, supporting my movement. You know, shout out to Q for inviting me as well. You know, he's been supporting me for the last few years, so it's good. We finally linked up, finally met in person. Follow me on social media, Q the Question. Make sure y'all grab my book, The Secret to Speaking Spanish Fluently in Less Than a Year. And shout out to my artists, Jada Ali and Sean Archer. And once again, shout out to y'all.
Thank you.
Much success to your body sculpting business. I look forward to hearing your music, so we'll see where we go from there and if we network, you know?
Okay,
and thank you for coming.
No doubt.
Thanks. Appreciate you.
No problem.
All right.
Don't stop, keep working.